Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to another episode of the world famous Universal Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. So, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. We are coming to you live today. Today is Tuesday, January the 21st, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you survived yesterday. We had the presidential inauguration yesterday. The Detroit Lions, they lost this weekend. Uh, People in Detroit were sad. Uh, people on the people in the Democratic Party was sad yesterday. It was a sad weekend. Let me see who else. I didn't watch football, but people. It's funny when you change, when you start changing in life. Uh, people, people still talk to me about sports, but I don't really watch it. But I don't really watch it no more. I'm even gonna stop. I told myself, I would try to watch the score a little bit. Just if somebody asked me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, blah, 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 blah." I don't even want to do that no more. As I get older, I'm 45. I love not to know things. I don't care about pop culture like that. I don't need to know who's dating, what celebrities dating what celebrity. I remember one time I went to McDonald's about a year or two ago. It was like around Valentine's Day. They had a Cardi B Offset meal. I thought, is that a thing? And my friend was like, "Yeah, man, he married, bro." I said, "Oh, I didn't really, you know, I didn't really know all that." You know, I'm, I'm pretty sure I might have read something or saw something people post about him, but I don't really keep up. I try not to know too much about. I definitely don't want to know about a lot about. You know, as I told you before, I used to listen to rap. I don't listen to hip hop anymore. Hip hop is like wrestling. Okay. When I mean hip hop is wrestling, hip hop is pro wrestling. It's a lot of characters. There's a lot of storylines. There's good guys, bad guys, people acting like they're super tough guys. Snoop Dogg pretending like he's a gangster. And it's so on and so on. Rick Ross, you got Rick Ross acting like he's one of the biggest cocaine dealers. In Florida. It's just it's laughable at this point because you see these guys are like, you know, I, you know this is the rap story. I had to I had to stop selling drugs. And I didn't really want to do music. Music just kind of chose me. And then you see all these old videos of people like Ti, like Jeezy, their first album, or them like sitting there doing poetry, or I don't know. Plies used to rap about he was a goon. Plies, he went to like college, and he came from like a middle class family, but he's like, I had to sell drugs or whatever. It's like hip hop is more pro wrestling than pro wrestling. And you see that, it's just like, all right, all right, I'm good. And so I had to laugh this weekend. I saw these people, they was all up in arms about, uh, 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 Nelly and Snoop and Rick Ross performing at some event that was for like Donald Trump. And now they're sellouts, they're coons, they're buffoons, and it's just like, one thing about the 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 black community here in America. For some reason we think we all gotta be together, but then when it's time for unity, you can't get it. But they want you to be together on nonsense like, why Snoop Dogg? Why Snoop Dogg? Why? Snoop Dogg has been on the. I mean, can you really be? You can't be serious when you're offended that Snoop Dogg is performing for Donald Trump, right? I mean, at an event that's a Donald Trump inauguration. It's like an inauguration, pre-inauguration party, I guess. And they had Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross out there, performing. Why would you be upset? Why do people take these celebrities and act like they're disappointed? They're celebrities, you know? They do things for money. People do things for money. Everybody does. Most people have a price. You tell them, hey man, come out here and dance or whatever, do this, do that. They'll perform. They'll put on a show. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand the problem with people that are upset with Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, and Nelly. And hey, listen, I'm from Missouri. Nelly's from the great state of Missouri. Missouri stand up. I stand with Nelly. Nelly, you didn't do nothing wrong with me. Nelly has a new fan base. If I don't know if ain't nobody paid attention, he does more. He does a lot of country stuff. He does like country albums. He goes on. Where I grew up, they got this thing called the JC Boo Hill Rodeo. Okay, and Nelly performed there a few years ago. People was like, man, he did such a great job. Blah blah blah. So Nelly has a whole audience, and I'm sure a lot of his audience now is like, hey man, we like country music, and we voted for Trump. And in Missouri, I mean, Trump won the state of Missouri the election. It wasn't even close. So to get offended that Nelly was performing an event for Donald Trump, hey, I ain't shocked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand. And this episode, we're just gonna discuss. Don't worry about what people think. You can't. If you sit there and worry about what people think all the time, you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be unhappy, and you won't have much business. If you, it's like I saw one time these people. I guess they got upset because it was a gay couple, and they wanted somebody to do their wedding cake. The guy told, or the person, I don't know if it was a guy, I don't know if it was a woman or a girl who told. I mean, I don't know if it was a man or a woman who told, hey, I don't want to do your cake. I don't believe in all that. But they got offended. And I never understand this. If you're a gay couple, why would I want anybody to make my cake and they don't want to make my cake? Wow, it's like being black. If you don't want me at your restaurant, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not, I that's one thing I don't understand about I listen. We all have the right to be. We all have the right to go where we want to go, do what we want to do. We all have that right. Definitely should fight for that right. But for me to want to sit at your stinking restaurant, in which I've learned some of those restaurants, I probably wouldn't want to go to anyway. But a lot of times we want to. Why do we want to? Why do we feel like we have to? I don't want to be anywhere where I don't want to be. Hey, listen. I only want. I only want to be around people that like me. If you don't like me, let me know. Okay. I don't need to be in your company. Your company's not that great. Nobody's that great. I don't need to be at your restaurant. You don't want to serve pizza to me? Great. I'll go somewhere else. I don't give a who gives a shit at the end of the day. There are more places that will take your business. There are more places that will want to deal with you than there are less people. Okay? So don't get offended by everything. Don't be offended by everything that you see. Don't be offended by everything that you read. Snoop Dogg performing for a crypto Donald Trump event or whatever. Why are people offended by that? Snoop Dogg has done nothing positive. You know, I'm sure he does something positive in his personal life, but in music, what name me a positive song? Well, he had a gospel album. I take that back. He had a gospel album. It was pretty good actually. That was positive. But most of his songs are not positive. Bitches and hoes, tricks and does, smoking dope, all this type of stuff. So for people to be offended all of a sudden by 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 where he performed and not offended by what he said over the last 30 years is bananas. And so you can't care about what people think. You can't care about you have a product, you want to sell your product. Somebody says, I don't like the color. Hey, listen. If they're not a customer of yours, if they're not buying from you, don't take them seriously. They're not. The only people that you need to say, hey, if somebody has an opinion, okay, great. They don't. If they're not a customer of yours, they're not buying from you. They haven't bought anything from you. Why would you listen to them? Why are you going to kowtow? It's like you see a lot of companies. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this. We're woke." Blah blah blah. They don't. They really don't care about the plight of people. They say whatever, do whatever, get in where you fit in. And you shouldn't be like that. Hey, you have a business and you have beliefs, and you want to stick with those beliefs. Stick with those beliefs. Don't go wishing and washing, flipping and flopping. I just read something yesterday about developing conviction. It was this Bible verse I was reading. It says, believers of conviction develop through committed study and prayer. And so you don't want to be one of those people who's, hey, we got to let, these are your beliefs today. Oh no, these are your beliefs tomorrow. I see Stephen A. Smith. He's running around now that Trump got elected. All of a sudden now he's like, oh man, I should have voted for the Democrats. They make me mad. That's a flip flop. And I know a lot of times, hey, flip flopping can flip 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 flopping in business. It sounds great, but if you don't stand for anything, if you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be one of these people who feel like whichever way is the wind blowing. Oof. Oh, today I gotta go over here. Oof. Tomorrow I gotta go over there. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. No. Stick to your guns. Hey, it's like I'm on the email list of Ben Settle, and he has this thing. It's like, hey, I offer this. I offer you a discount on the book for 4 days. At the end of the 4 days, it's like midnight. He cuts it off. And so I think that's a great idea. And so you see some people sometimes they're like, I was gonna buy the book, but then you cut it off. It's like, hey, he gave you 4 days. If you're on this guy's email list, then you know that, hey, every week or every month he's gonna offer a book. He's gonna offer it for a sale. You have a certain amount of time. Get your money together, get your credit card ready. You want to buy the book right then and there, buy the book. You already know what kind of books he has. You already know what kind of book you might need. And so if you're not prepared at this point, then that's a you problem. And so don't be one of these people who are just gonna flip flop around all the time, because I mean you see the grifting going on in the world now. One day people are crypto, one day they're real estate. You see all these people. That's great and all, but that's tiresome business to be. Grifting is tiresome. And so I know people are upset. Snoop Dogg's coon, Nelly's coon, Rick Ross is coon, but don't people opinions. You'll see women do OnlyFans. And people like, oh, she's a hoe. She does OnlyFans. Hey, listen. You know how people cannot make money on OnlyFans, and people don't pay for OnlyFans. I know people bitch and complain, and they're like, oh, these are prostitutes. Blah blah blah. Are they prostitutes? I doubt it. They are making money. Hey, is it the best way to make money? It's not for me to judge. What you can do is you cannot get on there, you cannot sign up for it, and you don't have to look at it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. That's their business. Okay. So the more and the problem is the problem with most people, not to be preaching, but the problem with most people is they're so busy worried about Snoop Dogg and all them performing at a Carrie Underwood performing at a stupid Trump event. Let's worry about ourselves. The more we worry, the more we focus on what we can do to control our lives to make the money that we want, build up the life that we want to build, create. I just told you about Ben Seller. And one thing that He's great at pointing out this world building. You want to build the type of world that you want to live in. I watched a documentary about Vincent McMahon, and Vincent McMahon, he built this world of wrestling. He built this world. He makes money in this world. He lives in this world. He lives in this bubble. One of the better books that I thought that I've read is about Walt Disney, about Neil Garber. He just talks about how he made cartoons. He had his brother go out and finance them, and Walt Disney just sort of built this world, and he became, you know, when he got older, he was Uncle Walt. And I remember he was on the Disney. He did a show every week, posting like telling people about a movie, or promoting product. But eventually he built this world of Disney. Disney had this. Disney has this whole world now. Disney, from the vision of Walt Disney, Disney World has become this whole, I mean, good God Almighty, the whole city of Orlando. The city of Orlando is, Disney. I mean, it's fascinating. They got from books to movies to cruises. Disney, they're their own planet. Okay, Planet Disney. And so instead of focusing on what people are doing that you don't know, that you can't control, that you shouldn't even give a damn about, let's focus on ourselves. Let's focus on the world that we want to build, we want to create. Sometimes just sit there and think, I want to build a world of my own, because listen, you don't want to always have to some days you're like, hey, you like, hey, some days I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go over here. I don't want to go over there. I am going to do this. I am going to do that. I have fun. I have means. You can do that because you build your world. And sometimes when you build your world properly, you don't even have to think about that kind of stuff, because you don't have to do that kind of stuff, because you are already living in your world. So your day is planned out. Your schedule is planned out. You know what you go where you want to go. You do what you want to. Okay, that is world building in a nutshell. Build a world that you want to be. Don't build a world. Don't be in the world that you gotta try to escape from. This is why people are hopped up on drugs, and drinking all the time, feeling like, oh man, the pain, anxiety ridden, because they're not creating a place that they want to be in. They're at a job they hate, or they're just doing things that they don't want to do. And if you focus, instead of focusing on Snoop Dogg performing for Trump, both of those guys have built a world that they live in. They live in a bubble. They don't care what you think. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You build a world that you want to be in. You build a world that you want to create, and you will be better for it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Movement. Until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you. Go to Tony. If you want to email me, Tony@TonyRizzano.com. Please email me. Let me know what you think. And we'll be back on Wednesday with an all new episode of Online Marketing Movement. Until then, God bless each and every one of you. Love you. Appreciate you. As always, everybody. Peace.